cover Zcash here. As you guys can see, we are now at 59% up in the last 7 days for Zcash. We're up 6% in the last 24 hours at $613. I actually made a video not too long ago on Zcash on May 5th. It was about a few days ago, but we were at $522, and this video is titled Zcash could pump to $700 if this happens, and it happened. All right, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we're about to see next and whether or not we're going to actually get all the way up to $700 and what I think is happening next. But anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So yeah, like I was talking about, Zcash doing some big numbers. The altcoin, or well, really the crypto fear greed index is at a 49, so it's very neutral. And Bitcoin is looking like it's gaining some strength again. It did pull back a little bit. It got rejected here at this 200-day moving average. So that is going to affect everything else as well. But what we're seeing for Zcash is slightly different. Zcash is still pushing strong, actually. And as you can see here with this level down there, that is actually a bull flag. And we pushed past that bull flag. And inside of the video, we were around $520 right before this Fibonacci. And then, yeah, now we're way past that. Now we're at like 620, right? So right now we're a little bit overbought here on the percent R trend exhaustion. This is the daily chart. We see the white line here is the short-term trend. The blue line on the bottom here is the long-term trend. Both of these trends for the percent R trend exhaustion are both inside of that overbought range. So we got to see how long it's going to stay inside of this. Is it going to be an extended overbought range like it was back here? Or is it going to be a little bit more instant like this one over here? So we don't want to see it staying in that range for too long, because that is going to mean that it's going to be a higher price for people who are not trying to short, right? There are a lot of people who are trying to short and people aren't trying to short. I believe we're in a bear market still, so I'm on the short side, but I think this is a temporary pump, right? So, I guess that's my personal opinion. But it's good for people that are going long. But me, I'm still short, so that's why I say it's not good. But what you do see here, though, is that we might actually blow past the previous all-time high. Well, not all-time high, but the previous high of $740 right back inside of November. And I think we might actually see a push coming up here to about $870. See, that's the next Fibonacci after we get past the 680. We have 870. So I think there is a possibility that we actually push up to that next range there. Now we are overbought, like I mentioned before, so this is going to be a little bit difficult, right? We'll see how long we can stay overbought for, if it can stay in this range for a longer time. But when I look at the weekly chart, it does not seem like the weekly chart is done yet. Usually we'll see it coming all the way up here to the overbought range. We're like a quarter way through, or 3/4 way through, right? A little bit more than halfway through. And when you look at the MACD, we definitely are going to get some more buying pressure here. So what I think we have forming here is actually some divergence, but we're forming bearish divergence, right? But the thing about bearish divergence is, yes, you're getting lower highs on the MACD, but you're also getting higher highs on the chart. So as you're creating higher highs, you're forming your bearish divergence, right? As you're creating higher highs, bearish divergence is being formed, right? And we're seeing on the MACD, we're about to get a lower high here. It's probably going to stop midway about here and then go down. But that whole time, we are going to see the price climbing, creating higher highs. So I think we're going to get up here to about $870. I don't want to make $1,000 prediction yet, but I think Zcash might have some type of short squeeze, and I think that they might actually push it up there. And I like doing reversals, right? I'm more of a reversal trader, so I'm watching this bullish divergence, so then I can benefit off the shorts, right? So I can benefit on the short side. But we do have, the bearish divergence. I'm watching the bearish divergence, waiting for it to top out. But yeah, this might actually get up to $880, possibly $1,000. I don't want to go there with it, but $880, I think that is a good projection, right? But anyways, pulling up the daily chart now, because that was the weekly chart. Again, we see this buying pressure is looking pretty strong. and it looks like it's gonna push up a little bit higher too. And like I said, we're gonna be building that bearish divergence, but we're probably gonna be creating new highs before we do that. And then when we pull back, we're gonna come back down to our moving averages. The white line here that I'm marking is our 200-day moving average, and it'll probably be around this region. So when it does pull back, it'll come down to about here and then probably do some consolidation up there. But we also have the red line down here, which is our 50-day simple moving average, and we'll probably end up hitting that range as well. So we'll see. That'll act as support for us. So not too shabby, not too shabby. On the 4-hour chart, this is what I mean by staying overbought and overextended on the percent R trend exhaustion. This is what we want to see on the larger time frames. And so far it's doing it, because it's doing it on the smaller time frame, the 4-hour chart. So it should do that on the longer time frames as well. Hopefully, we'll see if it does it. We have financial information being released this week. So this week we are going to see a few different things. We're going to see the inflation rate, the month over month inflation rate, year over year inflation rate. They're going to do their interest rate decision. You're going to see the PPI coming out on the 13th, and the inflation rate stuff is going to come out on the 12th. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We'll see how that affects the market. We already know it always does something, whether it's a small move or a big move, it always does something. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. But yeah, I'm still optimistic here with Zcash here. I think it has a bit more to push upwards. Again, like I said, I think we could actually end up getting to 870. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get to 700. Now, when do we become bearish, right? If we do something like where we get rejected here at that 700 area, right? Around that resistance at that Fibonacci area, that around that 700 area, if we get rejected around here, then that could mean that we're in for a double top, right? And as you can see, double tops are bearish signals. They're bearish patterns. So if we do top out and get rejected at 700, then we're due for a double top. And yeah, that's why my previous video, I was like, I think we can get to 700 because that's where this previous high is. But if we get rejected, then it's a double top. So right now, the way the momentum is looking, I do think that we can push a bit higher, but there is a possibility for that double top scenario. So remember that. But yeah, I think we're going to get to $700 regardless, honestly. But after that, we'll have to see if we can push up to $870 after that. And then we can take it from there. But yeah, this is all I got for the charts. But let's see what some other people are saying. This guy, Austin Barak, says it doesn't look like Zcash has any real resistance until either the $700 price level, which I definitely mentioned that, or the 1.6 mm in perps. Why Zcash dominated? It remains one of the strongest narratives, and is, in my opinion, fairly underowned. Yeah, I do think that Zcash is definitely a huge narrative right now. So I think Zcash is going to probably be that next one to have a huge breakout again. All right. But yeah, $700 is definitely some serious resistance, and that's where we stopped last time. So we'll see what happens this time. But yeah, that is what we're looking at on there. And then this one says Zcash a breakout continuation after completing its bullish or its bull pennant. $625 so far. Our roadmap has played out flawlessly. Now all eyes on the big boy resistance at 680. Yeah, like I said before, it's technically a $680 resistance, not 700. I just said 700 because we were tapping 740 up here. So the candlesticks, it was wicking all the way up to 740. So I was like, let's just round it to 700. But yeah, at the Fibonacci, the real resistance is at 680. So just remember that at the Fibonacci, right? 670 is just where it's like wicking up, right? Anyways, moving on from there, yes, I do think that we're gonna get up to there. And again, if we get rejected at 680, double top scenario then, pretty much. And then over here, this says this is insane on Monday. This is more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumped to 80.5K and liquidated to $510 million. On Tuesday, it kept moving higher to 81.6K and wiped another $387 million. Then in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin pushed to 82.7K before dumping hard and to 79.5K to today. liquidating another $635 million. That's $1.53 billion in total crypto liquidations in just 3 days. Now the setup is interesting. There's sizable liquidity sitting above in the 83 to 85K range, but below between 77K to 80.5K, the liquidation clusters are much larger. That makes the downside at the higher probability zone for now, and bears have the next move. So I kind of agree with that when we look at it from that perspective, right? So let's pull up Bitcoin here, and this does affect Zcash a lot. But the reason why I would kind of say, yeah, that does make sense is because if you look at what keeps happening, like we keep pushing into zones that we shouldn't be pushing into, right? Like we pushed up here, obviously that's going to liquidate people because now we're passing a significant resistance at 79K going into 80K. And we don't just stop at 80K, we go all the way up to 82.8K. So that's liquidating a lot of people right there almost immediately. And then it pushes back down and then it liquidates more people as it pushes down because people just tried to go long, right? Because they see that it's breaking out. So they're really trying to trap people, and there's a lot of market manipulation going on. And I know this is about Bitcoin, but in general, this can affect Zcash too. This can affect all the altcoins, right? So if Bitcoin starts dumping massively, there's a possibility Zcash could start going down prematurely, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, I think we can get to $700, but then once we do that, will all of the financial information coming out this week tear it down and bring Zcash down with it? Or will Bitcoin just dump anyway and still bring Zcash down with it? So we'll see. Because last time when Bitcoin was going down, like Zcash was going up, right? October was when Bitcoin started to become bearish, but that's when Zcash was doing its best going from October to November. So there's a possibility something like that can happen again because Bitcoin and Zcash, they're kind of not correlating together, right? You're not seeing Zcash following Bitcoin as religiously as other altcoins. So it might actually have that possibility to run up to $1,000 like soon. So I don't know. We'll see. Right now I'm gonna keep it at $700, but I think 870 is possible. All right. So this is pretty much all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the link in the description. Advantage5. Go ahead and sign up. Start trading through there. Get up to 500x leverage on your perps trading. And check out the link in the description for Chart Prime, best automated trading indicators in the game. As always, I'll be back with another video.